Hi everyone, my name is Erin Durham and I'm a research librarian at UMBC. Today I'll be sharing some news resources for you, some news databases through the library as well as some online news collections. I wanted to mention if you have any questions at any point, feel free to reach out with my email, edurham@umbc.edu. You can also go online to the library homepage and use the chat, or you can schedule an appointment. I will show you those ways. So if you go to the library homepage, you can type in library.umbc.edu and you come to the library homepage. Now right away you can see the chat box, which is in the lower right corner of the screen, as well as the Ask a Librarian. Either one of those you can just click and type your question. I also wanted to share the research help. You can click this tab and select Make a Research Appointment. Scroll down, you can find my name, you can find English, schedule appointment, you can see a number of dates, click on a date, click on a time, and just type in your name and confirm appointment. Those will be held online via WebEx. All right. Also, I wanted to share the English 392 guide. So you can get there by typing in lib.guides.umbc.edu/ENGL 392. From there, you can see a number of different tabs. Let's click there. This is the guide. Right away, you can see that there are ways to find print news sources. You can look at TV and news images or radio, etc. Let's go back to getting started, and you can see there is a box that says Find Articles About Journalism. This is a database that the library subscribes to. If you click there, you can type in your search. This is a database that will help you find scholarly academic research articles about media studies, about journalism in general. So if you type in your search and click search, you're not going to see necessarily strict news sources. It will be a mix of things. You can see there's a periodical here, something that comes out every period, every month, every week, every day. An academic journal is different from that. It's going to be a scholarly peer-reviewed article. For example, we can click on one of those just so you can see. Over here on the side, you can look at the full text. And if you scroll through, you can see that it's quite dense. It has a lot of references from other studies. You can see those citations in the article. And at the very end, you'll see a list of references. So you can see right away this is very different than a news article. This is going to be an academic, scholarly research article about a media topic. So if you need to find peer-reviewed sources about the media, Communication Source is a great database to look in. Now the rest of these tabs are going to actually give you news itself. So print news or TV, images, radio, etc. Let's take a look at the print news. We have several different databases that have newspapers. This first one, the national newspapers, covers Baltimore Sun, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, etc. From the 1980s, 1990s through the present. So you can type your search and click search. Just wait for that to load. You can scroll through the results. You can see there's about 17,000 results. So there are some video clips as well as print news. But generally it follows those main newspapers: Washington Post, Baltimore Sun, New York Times, Wall Street, etc. Now if you click on a title, you're going to get the full text. So you can read the news article there. However, with the full text, you're going to want to remember that it won't look like the original newspaper. It's not set out in the columns like a newspaper is. You're not going to have the photographs. It will just be the news text. So just be aware of that. At the top, you can save as PDF, which I recommend. You can save it to your home computer. It will just download there. You can also cite it, which I recommend. So you can look and do APA, you can do another style, you could do MLA, and then just copy and paste your citation. So that's a nice shortcut. Okay, let's go on to another database. Again, these are some newspaper databases. Let's look at the second one, Nexus Uni. This is a database that covers major US and international newspapers, also legal studies, case law, and business. So we're kind of interested in the news portion of it right now. You can see there are several ways to search. There's this big search box here. So that's a big one. You can just search right there. It's going to search everything. It's going to search news, it's going to search legal studies, business, etc. And you can see there's over 10,000 results. You can scroll through, you can click on them to read the full text. If we go back, you can try the advanced search as well. And with the advanced search, you can enter your search terms. And I recommend trying to narrow it down. You can also do the date range and select specific dates. So that's a way to be a little more narrow. And we can search there. Okay, the other way to search, let's go back to the main page. I like this guided search option. This is the third option down here. And already it breaks it out. You could look at law reviews, company information. Right now we're just going to select news, which is the default. We can put in our search terms. Or we can just do a more general search. We can say we want just the last 7 days, last 30 days, and search. And from there, it looks very similar. However, you'll notice with our big broad search, we have over 10,000. We can narrow that down at any point. We still have a lot from that, so it's a broad search. And this is a huge database. So you can always limit by publication type and just choose a specific news source. You can also limit by publication date and the timeline. Let's click on the timeline. And we can say, oh, let's drag it over very recently. Click there to limit. So just know that it's nice to be able to limit those search results as you go along. Okay, great. And again, you can click on it to read. You can also download up at the top. So that's a brief overview of Nexus Uni. Next, you can scroll down, and if you're interested in historical newspapers, we have a list of newspaper databases where we have full text from the 1800s. So that might be worth looking at. And then we're going to go onward to TV news. We'll just look at the top two, but I recommend exploring these others. Also, there are news images, and these are some great databases as well. Let's take a look at the American Archive of Public Broadcasting. Let's do a search for the Nobel Prize. Those are being awarded right now. And again, you can see search by media type, whether it's video or just sound image. These are going to search public broadcast television like PBS, news, and radio. You can also search by date. Let's look in the 1960s. And Martin Luther King won the Nobel Prize in, I believe, 1964. So that gives some audio. You can always click on that and listen. So this is a fun database. Next, we're going to look at the Internet Archive, TV news. This has over 1 million clips of news, I believe from 2009 to the present. And it's all sorts of news platforms, MSNBC, Fox News, CBS, CNN, a huge range. So you can just type in your search. There's also the advanced search you can check out as well. but we're just going to do a basic search. And over here you see there's about 34,500. With any of these, you can see where it's pulling my search terms. You can click on one, and if you click on the play button, you'll hear the clip. There's also the transcript of the news. And then over here you can see what programs the Internet Archive is pulling from. You can see there is a huge list as that loads. You can also select, those are programs. Let's go back. We can also just look at the list of television broadcast stations. So there's a lot. You can select multiple of those if you want. So again, there's many ways to search using the Internet Archive. You can, of course, limit by date as well. And I recommend exploring these other databases. You can look at the radio resources, a couple databases there. Also, you can find online news. These are some online news collections, news organizations. But I also recommend, if you are searching online and you come across a paywall, trying our A to Z journal request. So if you are searching, these are some of the databases we looked at. And if you come across a paywall, try the A to Z journal finder. You can access that through the library homepage. And if you're here, it's located just above the search box, A to Z journal list. We have a number of popular magazines, political magazines, literary, news magazines. And it's going to give you a list of the databases that include access to that title. So there's a number of them. We could just click here and then get access to the New Yorker. That is true. That's going to pull up any title that we have access to. So the Atlantic would be worth looking at as well. And again, we have access. The Atlantic was what we're looking for. And we have access to the present from 1993 to the present. Excellent. Finally, I will just say, if you need help citing sources, you can use this link. That will take you research help. You can also find it by clicking on citing sources. We have an APA style guide, MLA style guide. It's going to give you just a brief overview of how to cite sources. This is an MLA style. Most of what we're finding is all online, especially during COVID. So electronic sources, and you can see the different options there. Again, I hope that this has been useful, but feel free to reach out and email if you have any questions. My email is edurham@umbc.edu, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye.